the Mrs. South Africa 2018 pageant not only wins a prize valued at over 1 million rand, but she also becomes an ambassador for SABC3 and will be presenting the Rainbow Nation at the Mrs. World pageant later this year.
The new Mrs. South Africa 2018 is 32-year-old mom of two from Joburg, Nicole, who is involved in rare disease awareness and youth development.
Congratulations, you've just won the title of Mrs. South Africa for 2018. What was going through your mind when they announced your name?
I am so grateful. I have no words to explain how grateful I am. What was going through my mind was fear, excitement, nerves, potential, and finally responsibility. And I'm so grateful to be able to have this opportunity to represent my country. I am so proudly South African, and I will make South Africa proud.
So how has it been since the day of crowning?
It's been a dream come true. Absolute dream come true.
Yeah.
I mean, I just came this morning from a meeting with one of our sponsors, nomination, and it's surreal because, you know, I dreamt about this. I followed the process before.
Yeah.
I never thought that I could do it, and to finally be here, it's very surreal. It's also very overwhelming.
Can you imagine?
We have Mrs. World coming up here in
Yeah.
Johannesburg. And it's a big responsibility, but I'm excited and I believe I'm ready. I want to make South Africa proud.
I'm sure you will, definitely, and we'll be rooting for you, obviously, and the advantage of being at home.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's the whole home crew behind you. I want the crowds to be filled with signs and friends and family and screaming.
Yeah. So why pageantry? I just want to go back.
Let's go back.
Did you even think that this is what you wanted to do as a little girl?
I think every little girl, no, correction, not every little girl dreams about something like this, but I did deep down always dream about it, but I would never have admitted it to myself, and it was something that I secretly hoped I could do, but I had never done before. I was not very confident. And
So you've never done it before?
Never. My first pageant, first competition.
Quite rare. It is rare because you think that maybe you had competitions before that you won, and you always.
I think I had a lot of fear and a lot of insecurity in life in general, until my little girl was born. So I have a son who's 6 and I've got a daughter who's now 2. And when she was born, she was diagnosed with a rare genetic life-limiting disease, and that changed our whole world. And it changed my perspective on life because there's no time for insecurity anymore. You have to decide, who do you want to be? Do you want to be a victim or do you want to be an example? And I decided to be an example for my little girl. For her to have a normal life, she's going to have to work a lot harder than other children her age. And she's going to have to be fearless and fight for her life, literally. So I thought the least that I could do was chase after my dreams, fearlessly, work harder than I've ever worked before, and make her believe that one day she can do the same. Both my kids can do the same.
So you chose Mrs. SA because I understand it is not just a beauty pageant, it's a purpose, and you have to have a unique story as well to share with others. So to say that that's the reason why you bought into the pageant, because you have this little girl that you want to be an example to, and also you want to share with others, you know, your journey.
And I've been watching it a while. I think I was very fortunate that I had stumbled across it a few years ago. I knew about it, and then a friend of mine actually competed 2 years ago, and that was amazing to watch. Very inspiring, because she did things that were brave. And I thought, well, maybe if she can do it, maybe I could do it too. And she actually ended up being a second princess, so she did very well. And you know in your heart, something is destined, something is meant to be. And
that was a brave, a huge leap of faith then, if you don't have any background in pageantry.
And I was someone who really used to care what people thought. So to go from someone very insecure and shy and a people pleaser to now, I don't really care what anyone thinks of me, as long as I am becoming the person that I want to be, and my children respect me, and my husband respects me. That's number one.
And now that you are Mrs. SA, how do you think this platform is opening other doors for you?
First of all, to be able to be associated with the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa team, that is such a bonus to learn from empowered women, really successful businesswomen who, you know, it's not just about what you know, it's who you know. And these people are powerful. So, of course, it's important to network with good people, create good business connections, but it's more than that. It's about connecting with their heart and learning from their passion and their purpose and their wisdom. Very, very wise women and people in general.
And you are a successful businesswoman yourself. So this platform, do you think that it's going to help you in any way in expanding business-wise?
I do hope so. And my business has literally taken off this year. I was a full-time employee at the beginning of this year. And so this process actually liberated me from working in an environment where I was not living to my full potential. And now I get to have my dream of running my own business. And it was purely bravery. Because you can never see the full staircase, you just see one step at a time.
Yeah.
When you've got people that believe in you and you believe in yourself, then I think it's easier to take the next step, and that's exactly what I did.
Was it a matter of proper planning from A to B to C, or it was a matter of, you know what, this is what I want to do, and you just go for it, and then I'll see as the journey?
That's a really good question, because I think it's a bit of both. I think you have to, first of all, you have to lead. You have to just jump fearlessly. But in saying that, I did plan. I took a whole year really to enter, because I decided when my daughter was diagnosed, I decided to enter, but then I took a year of preparation. I watched it last year. I supported the girls. I was a fan of Tlingiwe's through the process. I learned a lot in the process. I learned how it worked. You know, what was going to be required. So this year when I was doing it, it wasn't hard work. My expectations were right.
So you're already part of the system?
Yes. Well, I think as a fan.
Yeah.
And I've remained a fan even this year. I felt it still feels surreal.
Yeah.
Because the whole year I've been rooting for the other girls.
Yeah.
I watched them on social media and I've been their fans, and I kept thinking, you know, it could be any one of them could be my queen.
Don't you think it is that positive spirit and that positive energy that you projected that then drew the crowd to you?
I would like to think so. And the judges asked me, they said, why should you win? And my answer was very, very simple, and I didn't even hesitate. It was because I'm normal, because I'm not special, because I'm ordinary, and that makes me relatable. And I never want to think that I'm better than anyone else, because I'm not, but no one else is better than me. And I think it's that spirit of unity amongst us girls, and I never saw it as a competition. And it doesn't come from a place of arrogance, it comes from a place of respect, because I respected them as my sisters, but I was never once competing with them. I can't compete with them. You've seen them. They're phenomenal. I was just there to be the best version of myself. And I'm going to try and take that same mentality into Mrs. World. A little bit more difficult because it's an overwhelming thing that I've never done before.
How is that preparing for Mrs. World? Just talk me through the process that you've been busy with at the moment.
Well, we need to make sure that all my outfits are lined up, of course, all the superficial fun, and then make sure that I'm ready for judging, be a little bit more relevant in terms of global news, make sure that I'm up to date. But I like to think that I'm well informed. And then pageantry stuff that I've never done before. Learning how to walk properly on a stage in heels.
So did you have to
I am in the process of learning, yes.
Okay.
But I have great examples like Demi Lee to watch, and she's inspiring. And she's obviously prepared her whole life for this. But I think
have you spoken with
I haven't.
Candice, because she was Mrs. World.
She was, and she's actually one of our judges this year, I've heard. So,
awesome. Any tips that you got? She can't give any.
No, I don't think she can. And I wouldn't ask, because I don't think it's fair.
Of course.
I will just try and stay true to myself. And that is my biggest advantage will be being me, not trying to be someone else.
Yeah. So let's talk about your passion for health and wellness. Why that line?
Yes. I started in pharmacy, and then I progressed I studied sports medicine and exercise science, and then I went into the supplement industry, health and wellness industry, and functional medicine. And functional medicine is about finding the root cause of disease, and it's a passion of mine. I love it. but obviously taken to the next level when my little girl was diagnosed with her health condition, because now it was very personal journey. So for us as a family, we try and be active, healthy, fit, because for her it's really important. It makes such a difference to her health and her longevity.
So in a way,
she eats, the exercise she does, so we need to set the example.
So it actually helps your background in health and wellness and medicine. Has actually helped you in understanding the condition.
Yes, I always said to my husband, I didn't know why I studied pharmacy. Now I know why. I have a pharmacy in my house.
It's making a great difference. Okay. And how important is the support from your family?
Critical. I think it's a family journey, and that's the difference between this and any other type of pageant. This is about a team.
Yeah. And how have things turned around for the family? How have things changed? Because I mean, this is South Africa now, and obviously now there's added responsibilities. So how are you adjusting? Is your hubby assisting you in any way?
He is. He's amazing. We've always done things equally in our house. He actually does things I think in our house better than I do, especially with the kids. He's amazing. But it's the question you ask any woman: how do you juggle? And for me, this has just become another priority I've added to my life, but it's been a progression. It's not sudden. I prepared for this as to be a priority long before this year. And so through this year, it's been very natural, adding it to my life, rearranging my priorities, planning correctly, so that everything's balanced. I do believe if you want to achieve anything significant, you do need to be out of balance for a short period of time, but my family will always remain my number one priority, no matter how much I want to pursue other goals. And that's what I love about this process. It's about your family.
Exactly. You can bring them along. They enjoy the journey.
They do, and they've grown through it as well. My son wants to be on stage. He always did, but now seeing me on stage, he's so much more confident, and I think it's given him a lot of belief in himself, which was my goal, and seeing my husband to be proud of me. And it takes a strong man to stand back and let a woman shine. And it's been a very good process for our marriage, because you come face to face with your insecurities as individuals. You need to learn how to communicate better as a couple. And I think we managed to work through things this year that we probably wouldn't have. We didn't have this process. And working through it has brought us much closer.
So you mentioned earlier that you did this for your little girl, and that's very powerful of you. But there's something that I picked up in common with the other ladies that I participated in. Both say that I did this for you. Was there a me element in that?
I think that my little girl was a gift, because when things get hard, you have to have a purpose bigger than fear. You need a purpose bigger than exhaustion. And I can honestly say I wasn't tired this year when I know other people were feeling tired. Because I look at her and I go home and she has to go through 4 to 6 hours of therapy a day just to stay healthy. So I don't get tired. That's not tired. Going to a function is not hard work. Battling to breathe is hard work. So she gave me the perspective and the purpose to push on when things got hard. But I absolutely learned to do it for myself. Because I didn't think that I was worthy in the beginning. I didn't think that as a woman it should be a priority to do things for yourself. I don't know, but I think it's this obligation as a woman to do things for your community, to do things for purpose, for charity, for family. But I've learned through the process that yes, I'm absolutely doing it for me, and it feels so good, and I deserve it. And I hope other women can look at it and say, yes, I also deserve to look after myself, to dress up, to go out with my girls, to do fun things, to live my best life, to have selfish goals, hobbies and passions. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you live your whole life for somebody else. And your life is actually about creating your masterpiece too.
And you can do it all without having to regret that or feel guilty that, well, maybe there's a certain part that I'm neglecting. Because as women, you tend to think that, oh my, I'm putting a lot of attention to this part, and then maybe my family here is suffering. So how do you then, without guilt, get into all those roles and still excel?
I I think you have to also be honest with yourself and know when you're messing up and know when you are dropping the ball, because
And when you need help.
yes, and when you need help, it's a capacity growing process. And I've definitely learned my capacity is far greater than I can imagine. We can do more. And when you think that you're at capacity, you're not. You're just stretching to be able to do more. But to have people around you to keep you accountable, to say, hey, what about this? Are you dropping the ball here? You know, and it's nice. It keeps you humble. It's important to have people around you that inspire you, that you want to be like. You never get too good or too successful to surround yourself with good people. And I don't ever want to neglect important things in my life for selfish goals. It's about balance.
And do you have a foundation?
I do.
Yes.
So I work very closely with Rare Disease in South Africa, and they are an
After
organization.
your digital status.
Yes. I was lucky enough to meet them in an existing organization. What I love about them is it's not about one disease. It's about over 3,000 different types of rare diseases. They're individually rare, but collectively common. And 1 in 10 people are affected by a rare disease. So a lot of the support groups for specific conditions can be very victim-oriented. And people can feel tempted to be victims and have that mindset, yes, why me, feel sorry for themselves. And that is not what our family is about. We're about thinking about other people because it's about perspective. There's always someone worse off than you. And with rare diseases, you have a condition that's terrible, someone next to you's got a condition that's way worse. And there's no cure, and there's no treatment to help you manage. We are lucky that we do have some treatments. We do have things to help prolong her life. And it's an attitude of gratitude, and that's why I love working with Rare Disease. I've started an awareness campaign on social media called #ICU, and it's about recognizing the silent warriors that look like you and I, but have invisible illnesses that they're battling with every single day. So if you meet my little girl, she looks like any other 2-year-old. She's running, playing in the dirt, having fun. She'll go home within 6 hours.
So it's a matter of learning to manage the condition and still ensure that she has as normal a life as possible.
Yes, that's right. We want normal life. We don't want to make excuses because everybody's got something. And that's really my key message, is that it's not about a health condition. It's that if you live long enough, life will get hard. At some point, life is rough, whether it's domestic abuse or violence, whether it's a broken marriage, whether it's the loss of a child. There's many, many things that happen in life that are tragic, that can destroy you. But it's about rising above that and telling your story. Because I found by telling my story of my little girl, other people around me have put their hands up and started to tell their stories. And then we heal ourselves, we heal each other, we lift each other up, and it creates incredible unity. We're sitting at a table and we start talking about life and its difficulties, and we connect over our challenges, and we inspire one another to rise above them. So our message is definitely one of unity.
So would you say this experience in a certain way unleashed some purpose that you never really
Without a doubt.
knew about, that if it wasn't for this, you would have even gotten into getting into the pageant?
I wouldn't be
for
here
instance?
today. No. And I think that's the message. And if you'll see a lot of my posts, I always #life is beautiful. Because I want people to remember that no matter what you go through, life is still beautiful. And there's always a reason to celebrate life. Always. And life can get really difficult. That's actually the beautiful part. Because you never like it. I still go kicking and screaming every time there's hardships. I moan, I complain, I hate going through difficult times. But it always makes you stronger.
So what would you say is the core message that you are getting out there through this reign, tying it with what you are busy doing right now through the condition that you found yourself?
My core message, especially to South African women, is that life is not easy, but it's the difficult parts that make it beautiful. That's where we develop our capacity, we develop our strength and our resilience, It's where the true essence of a woman shines when we are faced with adversity. And then it unites us. And I want us to stand together as a nation because everyone faces something. And those are the challenges that we need to talk about. And I don't want people to have stigma or fear or shame. We live in a society that praises perfection.